Good, how you doing? Good. So what just happened?
We're proceeding to close. This is it. That was the last action the city needed to take. The mayor will send a letter tomorrow to Pittsburgh indicating that we've waived our objections to title and that this is it. Money is going to be transferred. That's it.
Okay.
Lock, stock, barrel, as they say.
So no more official action is required by the city to close on the property?
That is correct. We've taken all due actions. The mayor tomorrow will send that letter off. Heck, maybe as early as tonight, depending on it.
Okay. And in waiving the title, what exactly does that mean?
Well, there are always different exceptions, things like that, that you could potentially object to. We determined that based on what the discoveries of the title companies, there's nothing that we would necessarily object to that would in some way seriously impede our purchase of the property. Essentially, we've said we realize that these are here. They're nothing that we object to in terms of a purchase agreement.
Mm-hmm. And the lawsuits filed against it, they're
still in litigation.
Still in litigation. I mean, they're there, and they'll be there until the case is heard, or the case is dismissed or dropped, or whatever the case is going to be on that.
So this could close as early as tomorrow?
Well, I think that technically there's a the 21st is I think the stated date, so that would be Friday. But it's my expectation that funds would transfer pretty quickly.
Yes.
And if the litigation does not go in your favor, does that make it kind of tricky?
It's a long way down the road.
I mean, the recent filing that was done by the environmental group out of St. Louis.
Sure. I mean, it could be a year, 2 years before that case is actually heard at this point. Like I said, that's a long way off. At this point, we've taken all appropriate actions necessary to close on the property. It's just a matter of wiring the money and Pittsburgh sending us the title.
When's the next public council meeting?
January? That doesn't have 2008 up there.
Cancel the one on the 20th.
Right. We canceled the one that would have been on the 24th. So what is that? Second of January?
Second Monday.
Second Monday in
Second
January.
Monday in
Right.
January.
I can figure out what.
By approving the real estate deal, are you also approving the lease agreement with Wings? I mean, it's involved.
Lease agreement with Wings has already been approved. It takes effect once the sale of the Pittsburgh property is complete. So
So when you're saying money transferred, that also includes money for the leasing of the property, right?
the money from the leasing of the property is already held in escrow by the
Oh, is
city.
it right now?
It is. It's
Okay.
currently in an account that we have. Monies will be transferred out of that account immediately.
That's all.
So what now? You guys having beer someplace?
Tell you what, I'm going to go home and try to buy my wife a Christmas present. To be honest with you.
I tell you what, last night was the best night of sleep I've had in a lot of years. I can't tell you how excited I am. I've had a smile on my face all day. I'm thrilled.
Mr. Perry,
you can
you
ask.
okay?
I don't see Dave here. I've known Dave Sinkle all my life, since I was in kindergarten with his daughter. And I tell you what, I bet you he never once figured when I was in kindergarten that he and I would be working on a deal together to resurrect the Pittsburgh property. It's just, I'm in awe of the moment.
So what happened yesterday that you felt that you slept so well? You guys haven't worked this summer?
No. Well, we had our regular council meeting, but I knew this was coming. I knew this is what we were going to talk about tonight. Gosh, I'm at peace with our decision. I'm excited about our decision. I'm excited to have some closure and to be moving forward. It's an exciting time to be in Crystal City. This is, it's going to be a great deal, and I'm really looking forward to taking the next step.
Trying to work smart.
Going from partners in acquiring property to administering this property in terms of the different permits and permissions they're going to need.
Okay. Yeah.
What's your opinion, sir?
Yes, it is. Just want to let you know that
We would like an opportunity to voice it tonight, but as typical, you ramrodded everything through it, and all this real nice talk up here, but we hope that this will be your legacy and your short time on this board.
I'll be absolutely proud if the purchase of the Pittsburgh property is my legacy in this town, sir. I don't think we want to be talking about service. You know, I know, you know, your term on the library board.
You are not worth my time. Thank you.
That's certainly your opinion, sir.
I asked before, but you said we were going to build one. You're touting that this smelter, and I doubt that iron ore will ever actually come in here from some things we've learned. But I asked you, could you tell me where a clean smelter was? Because I'd like to buy a ticket and go and look at it. And you said, we're going to build one. So does that mean there is no such thing? Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't know that for a fact. I'm just telling you.
So you couldn't tell me, though, you think this is going to be a great deal and a great project, but you haven't researched it enough to really know?
You could be wrong about that. I know plenty about this. I know plenty about the new technologies that are out there. I'm looking forward to implementing them and establishing a very clean industry. Absolutely.
How do you know?
Absolutely.
That's why I'm asking. How do you know they work? Or tell me where I can verify it myself.
It's all sorts of different things that we're talking about, different things that Kennedy's talking about. The engineering will be out soon enough, and we'll all get to see it once and for all.
When Kennedy gets sued for some things that are probably hidden, and what happens that PPG is now wouldn't sell to a business because of the brick loading and the environmental catastrophe over there, wouldn't sell to a business, but found Crystal City, or since Crystal City was here, a community that would buy it hook, line, and sinker without really checking out about some of the new information that was found. That new information that was found, and you haven't even checked it, and you just say, hey, we're not going to be liable for it. You know, well, maybe the state of Missouri will be, but I'm just curious that why wouldn't you think that that would take a little more effort to check out?
I'm telling you, our experts checked out the property. They're checking out the property.
You're experts.
Absolutely.
Are you the expert?
I am not. I'm not an environmental expert. No, but I rely on the advice of my, my attorneys and my environmental experts.
What environmental expert? That's what I'm curious about.
Wings Enterprises commissioned studies down there. We've had two of them. We've had two phase
now
one
that
assessments.
This is a done deal, everything should be
We have a baseline assessment against that property. We have a baseline We have a baseline environmental.
But that's Wings, not you.
Wrong. That's Crystal City as the owners of that property. Pittsburgh is responsible for Pittsburgh's contamination.
I'm
if there's
talking
chromium
about
fire brick on that property.
You said Wings did the environmental study.
Absolutely.
I'm saying that's not you.
Absolutely.
That's not Crystal
Wings
City.
did that, provided that to us, provided us with the experts and the attorneys necessary to discuss those studies. There have been two now, one by DNR, one by Wings. Neither found serious.
What about things that have been found that the voluntary cleanup site is not covered in some of this new area in fire brick that possibly have chromium in them in the creek? What about that? You're not concerned about that at all?
I'm not saying I'm not concerned about it. I'm saying we're checking it out, and if it's a Pittsburgh problem, Pittsburgh's on the hook to pay it.
You think so?
Absolutely.
How do
I
you
know so. Because it's the law. It's the way these. I'm not even going to argue this with you. You clearly don't seem to understand what a baseline environmental protection is here. And it states that what Pittsburgh contaminated, Pittsburgh cleans up. If there's fire brick on the property, Pittsburgh's cleaning it up because they're the ones producing it.
It's not their property.
They're forever on the hook for what they did on that property.
Calm down. I'm just trying to find out.
I understand how my friends get so upset with you. You don't listen to basic reason.
Ben, if I could just ask one question.
No, sure.
When may I give my presentation?
Call Debbie, tell her you want to be on the agenda for our next meeting. It'll be in January.
Okay, I will do that. So work with Debbie on the
Did you ever arrange the meeting with Kennedy and the unions?
I invited you to last meeting. I thought you were going to be here last night.
Yeah, it was a work session, and I'm sorry I'll be at the one. We'll get it together.
Sure.
Thank you.